In the recently released KCSE results, it was apparent that the number of top grades has gone higher. More candidates qualify to join universities to pursue various courses and shape their careers. But in the same results, it is apparent that the education inequality is getting more entrenched. More than 700,000 learners missed the cutoff mark of C+ to complete the final phase of the 844 system of education. And so tonight on My Sense, I reflect on the data point installment of February 6th. In that episode, we analyzed how 88% of candidates in sub-county schools failed to secure the coveted threshold of C+. Put differently, there's an 88% chance that students who get enrolled in sub-county schools, majority of them day schools, have no chance of making it to the university. That only 12 in every 100 that join these schools have a chance to proceed to the universities. That should concern us, shouldn't it? But let me contrast it for a moment. 83% of learners who got admitted to national schools in 2021 qualified to join universities when they sat the KCSE in 2024. Put differently, should you take your child to a national school, they will have an over 80% chance of qualifying to join universities. This is good news, but not necessarily good for the children of Kenya. Why is it that learners in national schools perform better than those in sub-county schools? Is it a question of brain power? Is it a question of enrollment habits? That those in day schools come in with lower grades in KCPE? The answer to these two questions depend on whom you ask. Let's go deeper. How much resources are available to learners in national schools? How about in the day schools? How many science laboratories exist in day schools? How many teachers are available to these schools? How many of them teach science subjects? And how soon do the learners in day schools receive the publicly funded textbooks? You see, 54% of the KCSE 2024 cohort attended school in these sub-county schools. 436,000 of them will not be joining universities this year. Over 350,000 of them scored between a D+ and a grade E. Did the teachers see this coming? Did the government know this was going to happen? Of course it did, if recent trends are anything to consider. What then shall we do? It does not make any sense for a country to continue sending 54% of secondary school capitation to schools and end up with the lowest of grades. It does not make sense for children to spend a whole 4 years in school to only post grades that do not assure them of a future. And yes, education is not everything, or so you may hear on the streets. But if an education system is 844, shouldn't learners get the chance of progressing as close as to finishing it as possible? Now, with the competency-based curriculum, or CBC, there's so much going wrong, especially in the public schools. There are gaps in classrooms, laboratories, textbooks, gaps in training of teachers. JSS centers report lacking science teachers. And where there are some, too few for all the three cohorts now. Have we not learned with the poor postings in national exams? There can be miracles, but education miracles are rare. It is time to give justice to all learners. Give them an equal chance to learn and be the best they can be in their lives. Anything else makes no sense of education. And that is my sense tonight.